Now, Professor Onipa, devolution of power.
Yeah.
You cite example using, let's say, 5 countries.
Yeah.
Number 1 is United Kingdom. You said that United Kingdom has 4 nations in one country: England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. Then all of these 4 nations collectively are one country called the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. Each of them has their own respective government. One government, one Scotland the government here, England the government, one government. One control police, one lot of one control military, one lot of one control judiciary, one lot of that's the court. One control healthcare. One sure healthcare in England, or to city Scotland. Tí you bá ní cancer in England, ó máa dúró 6 months kó tó rí doctor. Tó bá ní cancer in Scotland, ìjọ tó máa ti diagnose ẹ̀ ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí bẹ̀rẹ̀ treatment. Ṣé mo pé ní Scotland school wà free from primary school to university. In Scotland, but in England, all free from primary school to secondary school. To Buffalo University, you have to pay for it. That's a remember student loan. This is regional system of government. Now, to work Canada, it is 2 ethnic groups: English Canadians and French Canadians. Nítorí pé wọ́n jẹ́ 2 nations in one country, they practice regional government. Canada and the government is here, regional government here. The English speaking, the French speaking side only government here. The English speaking side only government here. To Canada now. To Australia, they are practicing regional government.
Sorry, bí àwọn Kenya tó ń sọ ẹ̀ sọ pé French speaking country wọ́n ní government wọn.
French speaking region.
Ṣé yẹn mi pé wọ́n ní police tó wọn?
Wọ́n ní police tó
wọn. Àwọn fúnra wọn control police.
Yeah, àwọn control police.
Then àwọn French speaking thing náà àwọn control.
Àwọn control police. So wọ́n ní joint police.
But one country ni wọ́n.
One country is called Canada.
Yeah.
But inside that Canada is 2 nations: the French speaking side and the English speaking side.
Yeah.
The French speaking side, they have their own judiciary, they have their own military, they have everything. The only thing they have in common with the English speaking side is the foreign policy, and they have the same president.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means they are practicing
regional government.
Regional government.
Yeah. If you go to Australia, it's the same thing. They are practicing regional. If you go to South Africa, they are practicing regional government. They have 9 regions. Each region don't control education, health, taxes, and everything. Ghana, the same thing. So these are devolution of power. You know why it's called devolution of power? Nigeria, God Almighty did not create Nigeria. English created Nigeria. Nigeria is a country. Yoruba is a nation. People don't know the difference between a nation and a country. No, a country is a geographical expression of people living within a defined boundary. A nation is a group of people speaking the same language, having common tradition, common norms and value system. Tó bá wo Yorùbá ń sìn as a nation, tó bá kúrò l'Ékòó tó lọ sí Kwara ní Ìlọrin, Yorùbá náà sọ ńbẹ̀. But tó bá kúrò l'Ékòó tó lọ sí Sokoto, kò ṣe Yorùbá náà sọ ńbẹ̀.
So that's a different nation.
There's a different nation. Language makes a nation. Language.
Okay.
For instance, look at United Kingdom. Within England, tó bá kúrò ní London tó lọ sí Leicester, it is English they are speaking.
Yeah.
The moment you move to Scotland, they speak Gaelic, which is not English. The moment you leave England to move to Wales, they speak Welsh. So language is associated with nation. Now, another thing you need to know, within Yoruba nation, there are different dialects. Tí ẹni tó wá láti Èkìtì tó bá sọ Yorùbá fún ẹ, ó máa yàtọ̀ sẹ́ni tó wá láti Ọ̀yọ́, because they have different dialects.
So what we call that?
These are the tribes.
Okay, these are tribes.
Tribes in one nation. You know the English has a tribe. Ẹni tó wá láti London, tó bá sọ English, ó yàtọ̀ sẹ́ni tó wá láti Yorkshire. Ó yàtọ̀ sẹ́ni tó wá láti Liverpool. So tí ẹni tó wá láti Liverpool wá sí London, tó bá sọ English, wá ní Liverpool accent, Liverpool dialect, ní wọ́n rí fún àṣì yẹn. So tó ṣe rí nìyẹn. So for Nigeria to be great, the nations within that country called Nigeria, there are 15 nations like Yoruba, Hausa, Fulani, Igbo, Kanuri, Ijaw, Nupe, Edo. All of these nations must have their own space. clearly defined space. They must govern themselves. What it means is that the Yoruba must have a leader, which is the Prime Minister of Yoruba region. That Prime Minister will manage the police, will manage the military, will manage the taxes that people pay, will manage the healthcare, will manage the agriculture, will manage the land, will manage the natural and human resources for the Yoruba region. Then the Prime Minister of Igbo will do the same thing. The Prime Minister of Hausa will do the same thing. The Prime Minister of Kanuri will do the same thing. That is when you can bring about peace. This is what is called devolution. But what we are practicing today is you have a president who will manage, you have Buhari, it's a full animal. He's controlling the Yoruba police, he's controlling the Yoruba military, he's controlling the Igbo police, he's controlling the Igbo military, he's controlling the Hausa police, he's controlling. So, in that case, because we are all women, it's like when you're being money, I want to any preferential treatment. So, can you treat Yoruba nicely? Can you treat Yoruba nicely? Now, you ask yourself a question. In what answer in devolution is very simple. You said, Igbo, govern yourself, control your own wealth. All the money that you make in Igbo land, spend it and pay 10% to the federal government. Hausa Fulani, control your land, control your police, control your military. But if you tell Hausa and Igbo this, they will say no. They don't want to control their police, they want everybody to be the same. Then you ask, why do they want everybody to be the same? Because they don't have what the Yoruba has. So in order for them to steal what belongs to Yoruba, that's why they don't want to govern themselves. So it is actually political interest. You understand? Now the problem is on the Yoruba nation. If you don't want people to steal what belongs to you, you defend it. You defend your own. So devolution will actually pays everybody in Nigeria. But Igbo and Hausa Fulani don't want it because they want to control Yoruba. So they are the one causing trouble. And you say this to people, people will listen to you, and they will know that you are making sense. It's like you give one simple example that, look, this phone is £100. You purchase this phone in Yoruba land, you pay 10% VAT, which is value added tax. That is £10 of £100. Now, you purchase this phone in Yoruba land. You then said to the people, why must the £10 you pay as VAT, why must it go to Abuja? No, that £10 should be used by the Yoruba. So the phone bought or purchased in Igbo land, the taxes should stay in Igbo land. The phone purchased in Hausa land, the taxes should stay in Hausa land. But you will see that if you say this, it's only Yoruba people that want this kind of system. The Igbo want the taxes that you pay on this phone in Yoruba land, they want it to go to Abuja. The Hausa Fulani want the taxes you paid on this phone in Yoruba land, they want it to go to Abuja so that it will now be divided into three, which Yoruba people don't want. Devolution means that the taxes you pay on this phone stays where you purchase it. So if you purchase this phone in Yoruba land, you pay £100 and you pay VAT 10%, which is £10. The £10 stays in Yoruba land. That's what justice is about. This is not a new concept. Again, you have to tell the people. This is not a new concept. It was what we agreed to before independence. So somebody now say, I don't want that system.
You said they want it.
Igbo. They said they don't want the system. We practice this system. We're actually going back to the old system. We practiced this old system for 6 years, between 1960 to 1966. So Igbo destroyed. The only reason why the Igbo destroyed is two reasons. One, they don't have the waterways and they don't have crude oil. So the Yoruba that has waterways and crude oil, they are making the greatest revenue. So the Igbo don't have that revenue. So they use gun and destroy the system. But there is the greatest natural resources God has given to human being, to every nation, is human capital, brain. It is not God that produced this phone, it's human brain. It is not God that produced this charger, it's human brain. It's not God that produced this seat, it's human brain. Our clothing, it is not made by God, it's human brain. But the problem is this, not all human beings can produce this chair. Not all human beings can produce this phone. Not all human beings can think about a dress like this. So if you want to be great, you invest in human being. Simple. Give them education. That was what Awolowo did. He gave Yoruba education. So because we have the education, we're able to think about this product. That's why our economy booms. But in the case of Igbo, Nnamdi Azikiwe, sorry, he didn't give them education. That's why you see Igbo, the moment they turn 6 years old, they are learning a trade from one uncle. I think we're digressing.
No.
So that's why. Now, okay, look, let me give you this example. When you see a Yoruba child that is 6 years old, to just 6 years old, to say 6 years old, Oma say primary school straight. Oma be 6 years in primary school at the 12 years old. Oma daddy alo secondary school alo 6 years. That's 18. At 4 years. In university. Now, we acquire what is called human capital. Learn how to read and write, how to do calculation, 1 plus 1, 2 plus 2. So by the time you judge human capital don't you acquire only your phone, only your battery, only your shop. That is it. What you acquire. But now to bury Igbo to pay 6 years old, so do a between spare part. I will learn trade. Need knowledge of how to read and write. Could acquire human capital actually train mind there. So by the time Mama spend the 16 years, let's learn how to trade. Oma mo bonshire raspia parts. Amo bitoti leta. Amo bitoti lera. Amo automata fun. Kò ní lè ṣe common simple calculation mathematics. Kò ní lè ronú pé ó jẹ́ kó ní industries tó ti ń produce spare part yẹn. Ó máa lọ rà lọ́dọ̀ àwọn tó ń produce ni. Àwọn tó ń produce yẹn ti acquire human capital through university. So what they produce it. So Igbo ni ronú láti produce, láti máa tà ní service sector. So that's why they lack human capital. They cannot produce this chair, but they can buy the chair to sell. They can't produce this clothing. They will then buy the clothing and sell. It's service sector which does not grow the economy of a nation. That's why their own economy is not growing. Now you pick on Hausa Fulani. By the time their child is 6 years old, they send him to a Quranic school. That's their nature. That is what they believe in. So he goes to Quranic school for about 16 years. Wow. So he knows, he has the knowledge of Quran. He can recite the Quran by memory. Understand? But he doesn't have knowledge to produce this cardboard. He doesn't have knowledge to produce ordinary phone. It lacks the human capital. Human capital is not innate. It is not born. You train people. You understand? You train people. Somebody cannot just wake up and learn how to produce this chair. No. It needs to go through certain rudimentary. So you see the difference. Yeah. So for us as a country, Nigeria as a country, it's never going to work because we're different. We have different outlook to life. That's why we're killing ourselves. Now you're sitting around, you're explaining this, you will be superior to all of these other women that are just making shit noise. People will gravitate towards you to tap and you will want to force to improve. That's why you give me a call. Okay? You will discuss some of these things. Umani massive following. I'm telling you. Simple thing.
Yeah.
I think we should stop.
What is that?
Stop.